Alright traders, I'm Forest God and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. If you know are new here, please kindly click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to get notified anytime I drop a video. As you can see, on Monday we analyzed Usdjpy and I was telling you guys that the market is bullish. As you can see, markets keep breaking structures to the upside, and now market has retested the 4-hour order block. I told you guys that market is targeting. As you can see that now market has reached this order block. Market is reacting to this order block, but you guys need to be careful before you take this trade. You need to be very careful. Why? Because of the volume of the candles. You can see how sharply the sellers came into the order block without even giving the buyers slightly opportunities to come in. The buyers came in but not strong. As you can see this week's here on the lower time frame, the buyers are trying to push the market, but the sellers were very strong enough to push the market into this order block. Yes, on Monday I told you guys this is where the market was coming. But before you take any trade from this order block, all I have to tell you is you need to be very careful. You need to wait for confirmations before. You need to wait for confirmations. You need to wait for the market structure shift in the 15 minutes time frame. In the 15-minute time frame, or you wait for a shift in the 5-minute time frame. You can even probably wait for it under the 1-minute time frame where you get a better market shift. So the market gives you something like this, comes back to grab this liquidity and give you a shift this way. Then you know that now that markets have swept this liquidity, what markets will do next is to come into a fair value gap or an order block here. Then you don't take your buy to this level. Let me say this again. I said make sure that you wait for confirmations. Let at least market move to this upside. Let me say this fair value gap here, and give you a retracement down and sweep at least this liquidity, this downward liquidity. Markets might sweep this liquidity here. It might sweep this liquidity here and give you a market structure shift to the upside this way. So this is now your market structure shift here. See that we have a market structure shift here. Just an example I'm setting. So you need to wait for this is the type of confirmations you need to wait for. So market structure shift. Then after the market has shift structure, you now wait for market to return into any fair value gap here or another block here. So let's say another block here or fair value gap here. Market might not break below this because already it has swept liquidity before giving us this shift. So you take your trade from here this way. So that's where you now take your trade from here this way, put it your stop loss below this liquidity sweep, and you target the recent high. Don't be targeting here. Why? Because the market might reverse due to this fair value gap here. You can see there's a fair value gap here and there's this other block to here. The market might get to and start moving to the downside. So you need to target the recent high after the market structure shift. So guys, this is what I'm seeing currently on Usdjpy. Now the market is in our point of interest. We just need to wait for a confirmation. But if you are an aggressive trader, I think you don't have any problem. You can just enter the trade direct from here, because you have your own confluence that shows you that the market wouldn't drop. The market will keep moving to the upside. So we target the high here, to me. So your stop loss will be below that low, this low here. I know a lot of people will be saying maybe there's another block here. After market shift structure here to the upside, this was the other block, but it was mitigated. That's why I'm not targeting that other block. This was the other block that caused that movement to the upside, and you see that it is mitigated already. So now that it is mitigated, I don't think price will come there. Mitigated other block, okay. So I don't think market is targeting this anymore. The only time market will target this is if market should what move to the upside here, fill this fair value gap or this fair value gap and give us a reason to start selling, then I think market will have to come and take off this liquidity. That's the only thing I'm seeing for now. So guys, this is my view on USDJPY. Be careful, and use proper risk management. Know how you leverage and know how you trade too. Have a good week. See you next week, Monday. I'm out.